So the first card you have for your past is the Queen of Swords. Excuse me, sorry about that. So yeah, obviously this queen is up. She's kind of very cautious. She has her sword up between her and anyone who's going to come and attack her or bother her. She also has her hand up, so she's happy to accept the right people, but she wants to cut out the wrong people. So yeah, I'm seeing caution in this card. I'm seeing you being very, very careful. And I think that someone around you might have been either with you or talking to you. This is a love connection, and I think they were trying to build up your trust at this time. And I think whoever this was, they're a very sensitive person. I think they were very sensitive toward the way you were feeling. I think, you did have a barrier up between you and them, and you probably have or had a barrier up between you and other people as well. But I think this person really was very patient, very sensitive, very caring toward you. I think they really cared about how you were and, what you were thinking, what you were feeling. And I think this person really could sense that, you'd been hurt. You'd been hurt before, and that you were a bit fragile. Now, I don't think you were showing this on the outside. I think you looked very strong on the outside, like this queen. But on the inside, you were still fragile. You were still hurt. You were still getting over whatever had happened to you in the past. And, this was a very, very perceptive person, this person who was around you. They were very intuitive, very, very, very sensitive. I keep on seeing that. Very understanding. And I think this person knew that you'd been through a lot. I think you might have told them some things, but not everything. But I think they could really feel from you the pain that you'd been through. And I think they knew that you didn't want to go through anything like that again. And I think they knew that you were very, very afraid. And I'm just getting the sense of you being afraid of being someone and having everything suddenly change or disappear out of nowhere, something suddenly happening out of nowhere where someone would leave you or abandon you. And I think that's probably what happened to you before. I think someone in your past abandoned you. And yeah, I'm also seeing that it wasn't just you who they abandoned. I think they might have abandoned you and someone who you're protecting. So I'm seeing that, and I think that that was probably what hurt you more than you being abandoned. The fact that somebody else was someone who you were protecting, I think that hurt you more than you being abandoned. That's what I'm seeing. I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But yeah, I think this new person was very understanding. I think they were as understanding as they could be toward this. I don't think they've been through anything like this themselves. I don't think they understood because of their own experience. But I think the main thing was they wanted to understand you. And I think that's more important than someone who's been through it themselves. I mean, yes, if you're with someone who's been through it themselves, they do understand where you're coming from. But they might not want to understand. They might not really care. And this person has not been through this themselves, but they do want to understand you. They want to hear about you. They want to find out all about you. And I think that's a really, really big, important thing. And I don't know if you've noticed this about this person or not, but this is what I'm picking up from them. And yeah, you're still very cautious, or you were at this time. And I think they really understood that. It's like they were willing to move very slowly for you. They're willing to go by what you wanted. If you said, oh, I want to go slowly, I don't want to do this, I'm worried about this, they were picking all of these things up from you, and they were willing to work with what you wanted to do. That's what I'm seeing in this card. The next card you have your past, sorry about the cards going past, is the Three of Cups. So yeah, I think this is what happened. This is what this is telling me. I think you were left, and I think you were left at one time. Somebody left you with all the work. Somebody left you with all the work, and they went out and had a party like the women on this card. Or that's how you saw it anyway, that they went out and they had fun and they did whatever they wanted, and you were left with all of this kind of responsibility. And that's why you were so cautious. You were being like the Queen of Swords because you didn't want this to happen to you ever again. That's what I'm seeing. Now, this person might still be out. They might still be having fun in their own little world, not taking responsibility for anything. And I don't mean to talk about exes, but if I see exes or whatever else I see, it's there for a reason. There's some reason why I'm seeing them. So they're coming up for some reason. I think there might be something that this person might owe you. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what it is that they owe you, or whether they just owe you their responsibility or their time or something. It might be a material thing. It might be something practical. It's something somewhere. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what this is, but there is something they're still not taking responsibility for, and they should be taking responsibility for whatever this is. I'm also seeing some people around this ex, this person, supporting them, not only supporting them, but kind of supporting their lack of responsibility. Now, it might be that they know, this might be their family again, it might be that they know that this person is irresponsible and they just support them anyway. Some family are like that. Or it might be that this person might not be telling them the truth, and they think that they're the hard done by person. They've had a terrible time and they've been through all this and they care about them. So maybe they've been fed a lot of lies. It could be one or the other, but whatever it is, they do have these people around them kind of enabling them in their kind of irresponsible behavior. That's what I'm seeing. Sorry, cross watchers, don't be angry. It might not be about you. So you might have been told something about this person recently, or you might have had something remind you of them. There might have been a birthday, there might have been an anniversary that reminded you of this person. Now, I think you were reminded of them for a reason. I think you're definitely over them. I don't think you want them back ever again. But something is unfinished around this. There's something they should have done, something they owed you, something they haven't done that they should have done. That's what I'm seeing. I think you were reminded of them for a reason. I think they're coming up in this reading for a reason. I think it's to remind you that they should be doing something that they haven't done. And I think you might have to take action on something. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know if any of that makes sense. That's just what I'm seeing there. So the last card you have for your past is the Seven of Wands. So yeah, this is another really defensive card. This is about feeling on the defense. I don't think there was any real reason for you to be defensive around this new person in the Queen of Swords, this very patient, very understanding person. And I don't think there was any reason to feel as if you couldn't trust this person. I think deep down you knew that. I think it was just this feeling of, this was coming from the aftermath of being abandoned by this other irresponsible person. And I think you knew that deep down. It was just that your feelings were still kind of on guard for anyone else who is going to hurt you. That's what I'm seeing. So this is just going to take time. If this resonates and you're still feeling like this, you might still feel like this for a long, long time. But I wouldn't worry about this person who you're around, this person in the Queen of Swords, because I think they're very patient and understanding. I don't think they're going to lose patience with you or walk off or anything like that. So try not to stress about that. I know that's your biggest, deepest fear, that someone's just going to walk off again. I'm not seeing it happening with this person. I'm just not seeing that happening. So the first card you have for your present is the Empress. So yeah, again, I'm seeing that you're taking care of something. The Empress is the most nurturing. She's the most motherly kind of figure in this whole deck. So you're taking care of someone, you're protecting them, which is what I was also seeing in the Queen of Swords. And the other thing I'm seeing in this is a whole year. You might have had a very difficult year this year, or you might have excuse me, it might have taken you a year or a long, long time to put effort into taking care of yourself or for yourself again. You might have had to nurture yourself back to normal, because I'm seeing that because this beautiful Empress has 12 stars in her crown, and they represent the 12 signs of the zodiac, so 12 months. So it's taken a long, long time for you to get to where you are right now emotionally. You're still not fully healed yet. You're still not fully repaired yet. I can see that. But yes, you're cautious. You're very cautious of anyone new. You're even a bit cautious around people that you do know. I think, I'm just seeing that when you first broke up with this ex, there were a few people around you, even family, when you're at your very worst, at your very lowest, who weren't as supportive as they should have been. There were some who were, but there were some who weren't. And that one of these people really surprised you, really surprised you. You thought, oh, they'll always be with me, they'll always stand by me. And they really surprised you in a negative way. So I think you've always been quite wary of them. From now on, and I think that added to your kind of defensiveness against people, because you might have thought, well, if this person who's really supposed to love me, care for me, no matter what happens, turns on me or turns against me or doesn't support me, then anyone can. That's the kind of thing you had. You were really bewildered. This time really threw you off course, and you've been working toward getting back to yourself ever since then. But I think at this time things were a lot more peaceful. They weren't 100% right, obviously, but you were kind of getting your peace back. And I think now that you have this peace back, you have more of this peace back, you're kind of probably less likely to do anything to kind of try and get whatever this thing is that you think is owed to you. You know, it might just be that you think, you know, it's not worth opening this all up again because I'm at peace now, I'm over them, I'm you know, in another place now, and things aren't perfect, and I know they owe me whatever this is, but I really don't want to open this all up again. I really don't want to go back there emotionally. I don't want to open it all up. But if this resonates, I think, you know, you should at least think about this, because things come up in these readings for a reason, and I am seeing this thing that they owed you, and I am seeing that they're coming up in your head. And I think this is all for a reason. I think there's something that this person should be doing that they're not doing, and I think you know what this is, and I think you could, even though it hurts, even though it's not fun, it's horrible, you might have to take some more action on whatever this is, if this all resonates with you. So the next card you have for your present is the Queen of Pentacles. So yes, this is another really beautiful, content queen. And again, this is about nurturing, taking care. And again, I don't mean to keep on saying this, but I keep on seeing this come up over and over again. And it might annoy you because you might be thinking, I don't want to go back there. I don't want to go and pursue this. I'm over this. I want peace. I don't want to open this up again. But this is coming up for a reason. This is coming up for a reason. This queen's holding this coin and she's looking at it. Look how lovingly she's looking at this coin. She loves it so much. It's like this is her child. Now, if something around this thing they owe you has to do with children, you really, really do need to do something about this. That's what I'm seeing. It might not. This is just what I'm seeing with whoever this resonates with. Because I could see you taking care of someone. I could see you protecting someone in the Queen of Swords. And also in the Empress and in this card as well. So just rethink this. I'm not saying you have to jump in and fight anyone or jump in and cause yourself problems or feel sad or terrible. But at least rethink this. There might be a way around this that doesn't involve fighting. There might be a way around this that doesn't involve any problems for you, or at least minimizes them. So just at least have a think about what this might be. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your present is the Knight of Cups. So yeah, this Knight can be a really, really dreamy card. It can be about fantasy land, not reality. It can be about knight in shining armor, all of that kind of thing, like a Disney movie or something like that. I'm actually seeing two things in this card. The first one is you definitely nurtured yourself back to a much, much better place emotionally. And I think as you slowly got over this this old situation, maybe you were thinking, even daydreaming or dreaming about an ideal life that you wanted, an ideal partner. You wanted someone who was the opposite of your ex, obviously. But you were thinking, I want this in a partner, I want that in a partner, I want someone who's caring, I want someone who will never abandon me, I want security with them, I want this and that. So you're working your way through what you wanted. And this wasn't just like a silly, dreamy fantasy. This was a really good thing. It's important to have these kinds of dreams and to just let yourself go with them. Just think about them. These are like maps. These tell you what you want and where you want to go. The other thing I'm seeing in this is that you also had some ideas that you wanted to do at this time, not just about who you wanted in a partner, not just about love. You were thinking about doing some other things for yourself, I'm seeing. I think you might have been wanting to achieve something. I'm seeing that you really should maybe think about these things again as well. Revisit that, go back there, think about what you wanted to do, because I'm specifically seeing studying or getting some kind of qualification, or doing something, achieving something like that. Now, you might have dismissed this as a fantasy. You might have just thought, oh, I'd love to do this, I'd love to do that, I'd love to do that. And then you might have thought later on, oh, that's just a fantasy, I'll never do that. If this resonates, it doesn't need to be a fantasy. Please don't dismiss whatever this is. Please rethink that again. This is all about, this card and the Empress card are all about going back and rethinking things that you might have dismissed, that you might have said, I'm not going to bother with that, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do. Go back and rethink them. And instead of dismissing, think about a new way that you can go about doing these things, because you can achieve these things. You really, really can. The other thing I'm seeing is this person who you're talking to, or who you've started seeing in the Queen of Swords. All I can see with this is a good person. Now, quite often I see the knight in shining armor, fantasy, too good to be true. I'm not seeing that with this person. I think that obviously they're not perfect, but this is a really, really good person. But I think it's still going to take you some time to let your guard down totally. I think it's going to take you some time to really come close to them properly. Because, if you look at this knight, he's stopped in front of a river. He's kind of going along. He comes to the river and then he stops and he thinks, I don't know if I want to go any further. I might just stay here. It feels safe over here. And that's how you're thinking. That's how you're feeling at this time. He's just not ready. He's not ready to cross the river. So yeah, take your time. I can see that this person around you, again, is very, very patient. They're not going to abandon you. They're not going to leave you. They're not like your ex, the opposite of your ex. And I think that, just take your time. It can take a long time to get over feeling abandoned. A long, long time. So take as long as you need again. And take as long as you need, but you might want to explain all of this to them just so that they know. But they're a very patient, very understanding person. I keep on seeing that. So the first card you have for your future is the Ace of Pentacles. So yes, of course, this is a fantastic card. You have the Ace of Pentacles. So if you were thinking about studying, if you were thinking about moving up by gaining some kind of qualification or something like that, learning something, please at least look into it. Please don't dismiss it. Again, I'm seeing a similar thing. Don't think this is impossible. Don't think this is unobtainable. This is obtainable for you. At least start to do some research. At least do something. The Ace of Pentacles is showing you there are possibilities. They're opening up for you. If it isn't studying, if it's something else, it's money or career related, which I'm seeing it probably is, this is telling you that, there's a path in front of you. It's leading you to where you want to go. Now, you might, I'm not saying that this is kind of easy. I'm not saying it's effortless, but, get on the path and just start on it. Put your foot on it, put your toe on it. At least just start to think about where, at least start to think about it. Get somewhere, start somewhere. Just think, okay, I'm on the path. That's a start. This is where I'm starting. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be perfect, but maybe there's something I can research over here that's going to help me take a few steps forward. Maybe I can find out about some kind of funding. Maybe I can start to find out about some other kind of course that's similar, that might not cost as much if money is a problem. Maybe it might be carving out some more time for yourself. That might mean that you give a job to somebody else that you're doing, that you have responsibility for now. It might be all of that. It might have something to do with something your ex owes you that might contribute to this. So it all ties in. It all ties in this reading. So have a really, really good think about that. Please start doing this. A lot of people never get to see the Ace of Pentacles. They never get to see this path. They just kind of flounder around and they don't know what they want to do with their lives, and they just go from one boring job to another one. You're not like that. You can see this path. So please get on the path. Please make an effort to walk down the path. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your future is the Knight of Wands. So, yes, I'll just tell you what I'm seeing. Okay, this might sound really strange. I'm just going to tell you. There's someone who wants attention. I'm seeing someone who might be around this ex. And maybe this is another reason why this ex is coming up in this reading again. I'm not seeing you hearing from your ex directly or anything like that, so don't worry about that. I'm seeing some kind of an indirect message, so you might hear someone talk about this ex, or you might read something about them. It might be on social media, it might be something else. And I think there's something that isn't true. There's something that's made up, that's in this information that you might see, or this message, or something like that. Now, if you see this or hear this, whatever you do, this is what this is telling me. Try not to react. Try not to rush in and say anything or do anything or yell or scream or do whatever, because you might be tempted to do that. That's what this Knight of Wands does. It's not in control that rushes in. Don't be like that. I think, there's a lot of false things around this, false things that are being said. There's a bit of gossip, things like that. And so this might be true, it might not be true. You don't know if that's true or not. And even if it is true, is it worth you being upset about? You have the Ace of Pentacles. You have amazing opportunities in front of you. And, if this is all resonating, you have someone around you, a patient person who really, really cares about you. So be Empress about this. Be Empress. Sit there in your garden peacefully when you hear this information and think to yourself, okay, it might be true, it might not be true. It has nothing to do with me. I'm over this. I've moved on now. That's for them to worry about, not for me. That's what I'm seeing in that card. Now, again, you might still want to pursue whatever I was seeing, this thing that they owe you, but that's separate from this situation. That's completely separate from that. And there is a more peaceful way of you going about that if you want to, if you can find out what that is. The last card you have for your future is the Two of Swords. So, yes, again, there are a lot of stories floating around about this ex. There's a lot of gossip. There are people saying things. There are also people around them who believe what they want to believe, which isn't always the truth. So this ex might be telling them a whole lot of things that aren't true, and then they might be kind of spreading that around. Oh, this person's wonderful. They've done this and they've done that, and you might hear that and be really angry. That's not the truth. They're not like that at all. They really hurt me. They abandoned me, and they did this, and that's not true. So don't get angry about this. Just keep your calm. Try to shut your eyes. Try to shut your ears from this, like the woman on this card. Keep your guard up. Keep your swords up, like the woman in this card, and like the Queen of Swords as well. Protect your emotions. You are over this person, but please block this information out, if you have to, and protect yourself. Keep on protecting yourself. Keep on protecting your emotions. And not from other people. I mean, gradually put your guard down against people who deserve it, which is what the Queen of Swords is telling you, but keep it up against these people who have hurt you.